In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to run some attribute queries in ArcGIS Pro 3.5. The first layer that we are going to explore is the North America rivers, and I'll right click on the layer, go to attribute table, and here you will see that the table is loading, and there are around 5,811 rivers here. So if I uncheck the major cities, you can see the rivers just show up all over North America, and you can see the country is listed, the name, length, so on and so forth. So the first question that I posted in the instruction, how many rivers are there in the database, then it will be 5811, because that's the total number of features, polyline features that you see in the database. The next question is how many of those are in US. So you have the country information, so we can filter using this field. So we can go to select by attribute, and in here you can leave the first two as is. And here is our query field where we will go to where, and we will select the field country and is equal to here US, just US. We won't go to US Canada, and apply. Okay, so you can see that there are 2,219 features here selected, right? And you can see all the features that are selected are highlighted, right? And the SQL, Standard Query Language Editor, that we will talk about in our database lecture, if you slide this, you can see this is the kind of query, very simple query syntax that is used to go through the data set. So this is the SQL syntax, and this is just the GUI, right? Now, although I did not ask the question of US and Canada, but let's say if I add the clause and I want the rivers that are not only just completely within the US boundary, but also transcends the boundary, say, let's say US Canada or US Mexico, right? So I would add the Boolean connector or here, and the country is equal to US Canada, and add a clause or country is equal to Mexico US, and apply. And you can see that it just increased a little bit here, especially in this part maybe. So you can see that now the number of features is 2233. So OR is the Boolean connector, which adds to that selection process. So if you switch on the SQL editor, you can see the simple SQL syntax that's added to that country US. Now we're not going to do anything with the selection, so I'm going to clear the selection, right? Because if you keep the selection highlighted, you might mess things up. So it's good to kind of hit this clear selection icon or clear here before you move on to the next step. So I'm going to uncheck this, and the next question is about the county, and this is a very good general knowledge question. How many counties are there in the country? And the answer is 3144, right? And you can see in the metadata here, so you can go to the view metadata, it's from the 2020 data set, and which county has the highest population density. So you have the population density by square miles, and if you right click sort descending, you can see New York County has the highest population density. So it's not a surprise. And which county has the highest population? Again, if I sort by descending, it's Los Angeles County has the highest absolute population here, but I did not ask that question. It's interesting that you know how the attribute table and the map is interconnected. So for example, if I select the Los Angeles County here, it will be selected, right? And if I double click on it, it will zoom in this area, right? And Cook County, where Chicago, the city of Chicago is the second highest in terms of absolute population. So I can double click and it will jump into Cook County, right? So you can also click on this county and click on zoom to instead of double clicking there. Now again, I will clear the selection and I will go to the US. So first I will right click on the layer and click on zoom to layer so that I'm back to this zoom level. I'm going to switch on the cities layer, and now the first question in this layer is how many cities are ranked as class 8, because we can see the population class here. I think in the instruction I showed by the properties window, so you can see the class here, the population here, that's 100,000 and under 250,000. So how can we run this query? Of course, you can always do the ascending order or descending order and go through and select, but then you don't want to count manually, right? So you can do the select by attribute. So select, and then you can do population class and equals to 8. And let's check the SQL editor. So this is the SQL editor, and click apply, and you can see these are the cities that are selected. How many of those? 249. So 249 cities have population between 100,000 and below 250,000. Okay, so there are total 4186 cities, and these are major cities, not all the cities in the country. All right, and then I'll clear the selection, and the last question that I asked is how many cities have more than 1 million population. Okay, so again, go to select by attribute, and you can use this select by attribute as well. There are always multiple ways to do things within ArcGIS. So you have total population, 2020 total population, and you can use the query is greater than equal to, and there are drop down menus here. So these are basically all these values listed. I don't want to scroll through. I can just type in and this is what, 10,000. Hard to read the count the zeros. So how many 4 zeros and 5 zeros and 6 zeros? So 1 million, and apply. And there are 10 cities that are above 1 million population. And if I click on show selected records, you can see which cities are there. So these are your answers, or how to run queries in the attribute table.